Hi, welcome to the Me and My Bass series. Today, no gear, but a little story about my background and the story how my very first band, Black Hunt, came about. A while ago, a friend of mine suggested to talk more about my musical background. The problem is, of course, that I don't know if that's really interesting or not, but I thought, well, I can give it a go. So, here we go. Many moons ago, I was getting interested in music, and that must be the last classes of elementary school. That was around the early 70s, so I listened to the radio and heard bands like Sweet, Mud, Slade, etc. And I really dig those songs. I started collecting, yes, I already started collecting back then, singles from the Sweet, and bought every single released. Started from Papa Joe until Action. As my taste started progressing and found friends who also started to get into music, I discovered Deep Purple, Uriah Heep, Black Sabbath, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Uh, so over the years, my record collection on vinyl back then started to grow more and more. I also started listening to jazz rock, and over a couple of years, that grew into a lot of more genres. In fact, I must say I almost like everything apart from native Dutch music that's sung in Dutch. But I also dislike rap and reggae. Now I do get a few essentials in my ears. Rap things like Public Enemy and Beastie Boys, but reggae not too much. I only saw one time in Paradiso the revolutionary Dub Warriors, and was really impressed because there were no vocals. Great show. Then after finish school, I was drafted, and after those 1.5 years almost doing nothing, I started to work in a record shop, like getting a sugar addict working in a candy store, so to speak. That lasted not more than 1.5 years, in which I got to know one of the customers very well, named Rob Renting. He will show up in all this later as well. Also, there was an introduction of CDs. As you may understand, the vinyl and CD collection started to grow even more, and started together with Rob going to record collectors fairs as sellers of vinyl, which we bought from friends who started dumping their vinyl collection. Let me tell you quick what happened with all my vinyl albums and CDs. At one point, I met my wife, moved in, and all my vinyl was parked in a storage. As I had almost everything what was on vinyl also on CD, I sold the lot to a small vinyl shop. Then the format MP3 came up, and I started to convert all my CDs to that format, and found that the few final things I didn't had on CD were also to be found on some places on the internet, where people shared their music collections. So fast forward to a couple of years ago, I sold all my CDs and have everything I ever owned on 2 hard drives. If I want to look at the sleeve, I just Google it. Let me tell you, that saves a lot of space. Anyways, back to Rob Renting, the guy from the record fairs. Together we came up with this plan to start a band. Well, not really a band, but we wanted to enter a competition which was called the Grote Prijs van Nederland. Translated, that is the Grand Prize of the Netherlands, which was a series of music awards handed out yearly to recognize talented new Dutch musicians, both solo artists and bands. It was the largest and longest running pop music competition in the Netherlands. By the way, we also came up with this hilarious band name, as 1 million bands in the heavy genre are called Black something. I said Black and Rob said cunt, as I bought not long before that the first Venom album, where I was convinced that the drummer couldn't play. I thought we could do worse than that. So one time, after drinking way too much, we came up with this idea. We could make a demo and send that to the competition, and we would laugh our asses off. The only problem was we didn't play or owned any instruments. Enter Michiel de Koning, a friend of ours, who did own a guitar, a bass, a drum machine, some synths, a Fostex 4-track recorder, and last but not least, a Yamaha SPX90, the world's first affordable pitch shifter. Not worse. Anyways, we came up with some ridiculous lyrics. I composed a few songs playing one string on a guitar, and the best of all, we used exactly one drum pattern. Wrote a lot of bullshit on paper about jazz players going into a metal direction and sent off that tape. Believe me, it sounded horrible, and it was horrible, but we had a lot of fun making it. Anyways, you guessed it. We were invited to play the preliminaries in Paradiso, Amsterdam. Every band had to play 15 minutes and there were only 8 bands. I asked my friend Mark to play drums, but he declined, so we had to use the drum machine, which made it even better, by the way. Michiel played the guitar, Rob did the vocals, and I was left to play bass. I didn't own one, so I borrowed Michiel's Rickenbacker. What to do in those 15 minutes? Well, we played 4 songs with that same drum pattern, only in different tempos. And I made a cassette tape with the cheering of Deep Purple's Made in Europe on it, which was already a loop, but I looped it some more. So after the first song, the mixing guy mixed in this huge applause, which everybody in Paradiso made them looking behind them to see who made that noise. It was really funny. The jury didn't understand anything of it, of course, and we thought we were serious. Well, we thought that's it. Our 15 minutes of fame are over. Well, check out this video here, where there's actually footage of us doing that show. Hang on, I will tell more about this band in another episode. That's it for this episode. I hope you like this opening up to you. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.